Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome to math on a wonderful Tuesday. Yes, I have stepped my facial hair game up yet again because I did not get nearly enough attention from my class yesterday. I had to get more attention today. And as you can see, there isn't a whole lot else I can do with my face other than just get rid of everything and just be clean shaven for a little while. So today you get me as one of the three musketeers talking about division using the standard algorithm, which is maybe the most efficient way to find a quotient in a division unknown, but it's the least clear, which is why yesterday we talked about division using repeated subtraction, which is a more conceptually clear way of understanding division. If you did not check out that video, the link is, well, if I wasn't live streaming, I could put the link down there, but the link is on my channel. Go watch it. You're going to need something to write on, something to write with. One I can today. It says I can divide a dividend into equal groups using the standard algorithm. So when we're talking about the standard algorithm for division, aka long division, this is the one that your grown-ups at home go, well, we do division this way. You know why? Because it's the only way we learned how to do division if you were my age and in school. We didn't learn repeated subtraction. We didn't learn anything about really the conceptual nature. They just said, here's this process, trust it, and follow it, and you'll get an answer. And then we went, well, what does this answer mean? And they're like, don't worry about it, kid. Just get the answer right. This is a better way to do math. Just saying. So with the standard algorithm for division, we're going to take this problem here, 414 divided by 3. I'm going to scoot it a little bit closer. There we go. 414 divided by 3, and I've got the steps right over here, okay? Essentially what we're doing is we're going divide, subtract, regroup, repeat. Say that 3 times at home. Divide, subtract, regroup, repeat. Okay? Remember that. Divide, subtract, regroup, repeat. We'll test it later. When we're talking about the standard algorithm for division, because remember the idea is we are, with division, is we're taking a quantity, our dividend, and we're dividing it into some given value of equal groups. Okay, in this case, we're taking 414 M&Ms, $414, 414 crickets, because I'm looking at the gecko tank over there on the other side of the room, and we're putting them into 3 equal groups, or we're making groups of 3. Okay? And then our n, our quotient, is how much is in one group. Okay? Or if you're thinking about it the other way, how many groups you make. But we're going to go with the how much is in one group way of thinking here. Now, the standard algorithm is kind of cool because essentially it's an area model of multiplication in disguise. Now, remember, with our area model of multiplication, we're taking a rectangle. Okay, and we know that the length times the width, or the height, equals the area in the middle, right? So if we put 6 times 12, right, our area, if we have 6 and 12, our area is going to be 6 times 12, or 72, right? We can use this same model for division, except we know the product, we know one of the sides, we need to know the other side. Okay, that's all the standard algorithm for division is. And in fact, we only draw 2 of the lines in just to give us a little bit of a shorthand, but ta-da, look at that. We've arrived at what we think about as long division. So if we use this model, 414 divided by 3. Essentially what we're saying is we've got a rectangle. We know that one of the sides, one of the dimensions is 3. We know that the area equals 414. We need to know what that other side is, right? And below it, actually to the side here, well, where am I going to find space for this? I'll put it over here and I will just pan back and forth, okay? I'm going to put 3 groups, just like we did yesterday, because I want to keep track side by side as we go as to what actually we're doing in this standard algorithm. So first step with the standard algorithm, start big. So we're going to start with our largest place in our dividend. Is that our ones, our tens, or our hundreds? What's the largest place? What place has the largest value here of these three? Right? It'd be the hundreds place. So we're going to start in the hundreds. And essentially what we're doing here is we're saying I have 4 groups of 100. I have 4 $100 bills, we can say. And I have my 3 groups that I want to put them in. How many can go in each group evenly, right? Essentially, or we're thinking how many groups of 3 can I make with 4? In this case, I can make 1, right? I can put 100 in each group, just like that. And I'm going to show it here by putting a 1 above the hundreds place. Okay. Now, next step. Now that I've divided, I divided my 400s by 3. Now I need to subtract. I need to remove those 300s I just put into my groups to know how much I have left to divide. In this case, I can just erase these 300s because I wrote them all out, right? Or I can subtract 3 from the hundreds place, okay? And we're going to subtract 300. Okay, you might even see a further shorthand where you just subtract the 3 and then bring the 1 down. I'm going to leave in the full number just to make it that much more clear here. Okay, so we're subtracting 300 because we just put 100, 200, 300 into our groups. Okay, 414 minus 300. $114 left. So that's how much I have left. One of my hundreds plus the 14 I wasn't worried about. Okay? Now, again, we're starting big, so we're starting in the hundreds place. Now let's look, because we can't take this 100 yet, we've got to regroup it. We've got to say, okay, well, this isn't 100 anymore. Now I'm going to fold it in with my tens, and now I have this number. I have 11 tens. So if I have 11 tens, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. If I have 11 tens and I want to put them into 3 groups, or I want to make groups of 3, how many can I put in evenly before I run out? Right? So I can go, well, here's a group of 3. Here's a group of 3. Here's a group of 3. Right? So I can take 3 groups, or 3 tens, 3 times 10 is 30, and put them into each of my 3 groups, right? And 3 times 30, right? How much is in here? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, right? Divide. Now subtract. I just put 90 into groups, so I want to subtract that 90 out to know how much I have left. I'm doing 114 minus 90. 4 minus 0 is 4. And then here, 11 minus 9, right? Often I will see this, which makes me laugh every time. Okay, I can't do 1 minus 9, so I'm going to regroup. This becomes a 0. This becomes an 11. 11 minus 9. Or you could just look at it and go, oh, that's an 11 minus 9 equals 2. So now we have 2 tens, there they are, plus the 4 ones that we haven't dealt with yet. And now we're doing 24 divided by 3. We just regrouped our 2 tens into 24 ones. And now we're dividing again, 24 divided by 3. Or 3 times what is 24? 3 times what is 24? 3 times 8 is 24. So I'm going to put an 8 over the ones place because I am dividing 24 ones by 3. Here I was dividing 9 tens, or 90, or excuse me, 11 tens, sorry, by 3. So I put my three groups, or my 3 tens, above the tens place. Okay? Now that I divided, subtract. 3 times 8 was 24, right? I put 8 in each group. 8, 16, 24. 24 minus 24 is 0. And when you arrive at 0, you don't have to divide anymore. You don't have any more stuff to put in groups. So what's our value of one group? There you go, 138. And we can confirm that with our 3 groups over here. As you can see, in each group, there's 100, there's 3 tens, and there's 8 ones, making 138. So when we do the standard algorithm, and this one does take, practice in repeating this divide, subtract, regroup, repeat kind of mantra here, because it is less clear. If it helps you to put these groups, do it. Okay, if it helps you to write out those groups and kind of do it side by side with repeated subtraction, absolutely do it. Okay, let's take a look at a couple more on the whiteboard digital. There it is, right there. Let's try one, and I want to try one where, with a little bit of a trick here at the beginning. Okay, we're going to try this one. Okay, there we go. 340, hold on. 342 divided by 6. I think that'll get us one without a remainder. I could be wrong though. If it gets us a remainder, don't worry about it. We'll go into remainders with decimals on Thursday, so we'll just keep the remainder as is. All right, so let's set it up here. 342 divided by 6. So our dividend goes underneath, 342. And then our divisor goes on the side, and we're trying to figure out the top. Okay? Now, starting big, and remember, divide, subtract, regroup, repeat. That's our mantra here. Divide, subtract, regroup, repeat. We're going to start with the hundreds. Can I take 3 hundreds and put them into 6 groups evenly? If I have 3 things, can I split them up 6 ways? Not yet. I've got to repeat. And in fact, I'm going to put a 0 here so I remember. Okay? That 300s divided by 6 is not going to give us, we're not going to have 100 in each group because we don't have enough hundreds. So what we're going to do, we're going to regroup. And we're going to look at the tens together. We're going to take our 300s and say, okay, now our 300s is the same as 30 tens. I'm going to add that to the 4 tens that I've already got there. Now I have 34 tens. So how many 6s can I make with 34? What is 34 divided by 6? If it helps to go to your multiplication table and look, you certainly can. I'm going to go over here. It's going to be really small in the corner. Maybe I'll expand my, there we go. Okay, let's go to our 6s. And let's see. How close can I get to 34 without going over? Still going. Aha, 36 is too many, so let's go back. So 30 tens with 5 tens in each group. So essentially 6 times 5 is 30, or 30 divided by 6 is 5. So I'm going to put a 5 above the tens place up there. And then I'm going to subtract 30, because 6 times 5 is 30. Okay, or 30 divided by 6 is 5. And since it's 30 tens, I'm going to put a 0 in the ones place, just so I remember that it's 5 tens times 6, right? So subtract, subtract, subtract. 2, 4, and 0, leaving me with 42 ones, or 4 tens and 2 ones remaining. Now, let's go back. That's what that subtraction looks like. Now let's go back and see how many 6s can we make with 42. 6s. I feel like that Price is Right game where the little the yodeler mountain man is going up the thing and then he falls off if you guess too much. Yodelay hee hoo, yodelay hee hoo, yodelay hee. 42. Right there. 6 times 7 is 42, or 42 divided by 6 is 7. So I want to put a 7 above the ones place because our 42 ones divided by 6 will put 7 ones in each group. And because it's equal, 42 divided by 6 is 7, or 6 times 7 is 42, we don't have a remainder. So our final quotient, 342 divided by 6, is 57. If I take 342 things, I put them into 6 equal groups, I will have 57 in each group. And I can confirm that with some multiplication. I could do 57 times 6, right? 7 times 6, 42. 6 times 50, 300. Add them together, 342. Answer confirmed. Okay? Oh, and you can't see the answer confirmed because my big head's in the way. There we go. Haha. 342 divided by 6 equals 57. All right. Let's try one more before we go. Because again, this one just takes practice. And I would highly recommend, let me say this big. I would highly recommend, if you want more practice on this, you can just make up your own division equations. Give yourself a 3-digit dividend. Give yourself a 1-digit divisor. Then practice with it, right? You can pick any number. You'll end up with a remainder with a lot of them. But practice, practice, practice. Okay? In the classroom, we would have like workbook pages and we'd be playing games where we'd be, partnering up to do some division problems. Here it's a little bit tougher to self-motivate because we're on our own, but you can do it. And that's what office hours for. Come join us. Okay, let's do one more before we hit the hay here. All right, let's go. Move that over there. Let's go to pink. Let's go with 744. I say 40 as I'm writing it too. 747 divided by 9. Haha. Equals n. Okay? And as a reminder, do make sure when you're setting up these standard algorithms, give yourself a lot of space at the bottom. You can see how much space we use down here at the bottom, right? So give yourself, put your division equations way at the top of the page here. That's going to help give the most space. So start big, divide, subtract, regroup, repeat. Let's divide. Can 7 hundreds divide into 9 groups? No, we don't have enough, right? So we're going to put a 0 here. We don't have to subtract anything because we didn't divide anything. And let's regroup. So now let's make it 74 tens. 74 tens. How many 9s? 74 divided by 9. What's the closest we can get to without going over? Think about your multiples of 9. If you need to consult the old multiplication chart, the multiplication table, that's what it's here for. It's not cheating to use a multiplication table. It's really not. 9, go until you can't go any further. 81's too much. We only have 74, so let's go back. 72 divided by 9 is 8. So we're going to put 8 in our tens place up there, and then we're going to subtract 72 tens. 74 minus 72 equals 2. Oh, don't forget about our ones. That's why I put a 0 here. Ta-da. Now we're left with 27 ones. 27 ones. Okay? 27 divided by 9, or 9 times what is 27? That's a fact, right? 9, 18, 27. 3. And we're going to subtract our 27 divided by 3, or excuse me, but divided by 9 equals 3, with 0 remainder. Are you impressed that I could think of a division equation without a remainder in my head? You should be, because I worked very hard at that mostly useless skill, but it's useful today. Thank you all for tuning in. There are more division unknowns in your exit tickets. And again, if you're just browsing the YouTubes and you found your way here, thank you for being here. You don't have an exit ticket because unfortunately you're not in my class, although I would love you to be. So give yourself a 3-digit number. Pick any 3-digit number. Give yourself a 1-digit divisor and practice. Right? Office hour will be open for the tacos shortly. Remember, I have to go make a science observation promptly at 11 o'clock, so it might be close to 11:05 when I get in and open up the Zoom room, but I will be there for questions on the exit ticket and additional practice on anything that you want to practice, because all math is good and all math is worth practicing. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Have a wonderful rest of the day. I will see you soon.